right, Uuni fans. Well, there's been a lot of discussion in the online communities lately about gas mods for your Uuni. And if you were like me, you probably wanted to try it, but maybe you didn't have a lot of good direction on how to do it. So I hacked one together. I'm going to show you what I did and see if it's something to be worthwhile for you. Now, a couple of disclaimers before we get into this. Number one, for all you Uuni purists out there, I know it's a wood-fired mechanism. Adding gas to it is sacrilege to some of you. I still use mine with wood sometimes, okay? I get it, but there are times where either you need to have that continuous heat that propane's gonna give you, or maybe it's really cold. You know, it's Ohio here, it's beautiful today, but in winter, can't get that heat up as easily. Okay, so that's one of the reasons that some people may want to do the gas mod, but I totally understand where you're coming from, and I still like to use wood sometimes too. Okay? Disclaimer number two, I'm not an engineer, I am no kind of technician, I hacked this thing together. If you do something similar, do so at your own risk. If you blow yourself up with the propane tank, not my fault. Okay, let's just be clear about that first of all. All right, so before I show you what worked, I'm going to show you what didn't work. Okay, so the first thing that I bought when I tried to do my Uuni mod was this low pressure burner. Okay, now I've seen others that have made these work well. What I think didn't work for me is that I just got this standard connection hose when I did it. You really need to get what I'm going to show you in a minute, which is going to be a high pressure hose. All right, so potentially this could still work. You can get these on Amazon for about 20 bucks. King Cooker is the one that I purchased. You know, and they seem to be a bunch of different varieties. This one just didn't work for me. It's actually got a really good profile to fit in the Uuni compared to the one I'm actually going to use, but you know, it just didn't work for me. Again, I think the big culprit here was the hose. So what I actually ended up using, we'll get that later, was this. So this is a high pressure burner with a high pressure regulator on it as well. Again, I think the regulator is the real key here. It's going to let you get the heat jacked up to where you need it to be to get up to that 800, 900 degrees inside the oven. When I was using the low pressure one without the regulator, I was getting up to 5, maybe 600, and it was maxing out there for me. So this was really kind of key. Again, I think it's the regulator that's the big part here. You can buy these standalone on Amazon. King Cooker is the big brand. I actually got this off my turkey fryer. And just hacked off the screw at the end to make it a little flatter, but thing's gonna work. So here's what we do as far as installing. It's super easy. You need to have everything out of your Uuni. So you take your stone out, and if you have a heat shield, and I highly recommend the heat shield regardless if you're using propane or if you're just using wood pellets, these things are great. This was from Northern Star. I think they've actually changed their name to 970 Gear now, but awesome company. They custom make these. They fit perfectly inside the 2S, and I highly, highly recommend it. But you want to get those out. All we're going to do is feed this through the back of the Uuni. The back opening in the Uuni, you're going to take out your pellet tray, and we're not going to be using that as we're doing wood here. But the back end is too small to fit it in, so you're going to have to kind of bring it through the front and feed it through. So, really simple. We just pull it through. Again, with this high pressure one, it's kind of a tight fit, but it'll fit through pretty good. Now, I found with mine, you really want to just kind of get it centered right over the pellet hopper. So as long as you do that, you'll be good. And you probably are going to want something to prop this up. So I just use a 99-cent clamp that I got at Home Depot. Works pretty well normally. Of course, it's wanting to give me issues today. Works well normally, and really this is just all about kind of keeping that in place for you. So again, anything that you can find or use. I've seen some others out there that are probably a little more a little more solid construction than that, but again, just anything to kind of keep it in place. And then you're just going to attach your gas to your propane tank. So nice and easy there. And you want to make sure that your regulator's all the way off to start off, and obviously we're going to be cranking that thing up here in just a minute. So okay, once we've got that situated, reason my clamps not want to cooperate, but I think we're okay now. So now we just put everything back in our Uuni. So I'm going to get my heat shield back on. And my stem. And we're going to be good to go. The only downside with this that I've seen so far is that if you do want to switch out between having the gas mod and normal pellets, you know, you've got to take everything apart just like that. It's not a real easy switch. I don't know if the official Uuni burner that's going to be coming out is going to make that process easier for us all or not, but I guess we'll all find out here in a couple of months. This is not wanting to stay straight today for whatever reason. Cooperative. Okay, I think that will be good for us. All right, so next big step here is to actually fire this thing up. So you really don't have a lot of room to work with in the back, so I've actually taken off the pellet hopper for a moment, and we're just gonna go down straight in. So I'm turning my gas on. Now, I had my regulator all the way off, so nothing's really feeding through yet. But once I start feeding that, I'm going to want to light it pretty quick so I don't get a big blow up. So get a little bit of gas going. Need a little bit more. There we go. So good bit of heat. So now I'm going to get my pellet hopper back in place. I've seen some people that have put other types of things to kind of contain those in. Hey, if you have that skill set, more power to you. Just not directly in my wheelhouse. So I didn't. But all right, so we'll get that in place, and I'm gonna get my door back on here, and we're gonna let that preheat for about 20 minutes. So in 20 minutes, we will check, see what our temp is looking like, and then we'll make some pizza. Okay, so we've been preheating for about 20 minutes here, and just to kind of give you a quick glimpse inside, so you can see we're getting a pretty good flame. Back of the stone, upwards of 700, and if we get up to the top, we're hitting well into our 9s. So I'm gonna say we're good. So I'm gonna get our pizzas, and we'll see how things go. And there are our finished products. Looking good. We'll try them here in a little bit, but so far successful. Hope that was helpful.